Okay, so Planet of the Apes, one of the greatest franchises ever. Like, those movies are incredible. The newer ones where it's like CGI apes. I did grow up on the Mark Wahlberg ones where they're like in costumes. Those were pretty cool too. There's like an older version, which I never saw ever, but I'm sure it's pretty awesome. I don't know, it's probably pretty stupid, but it like laid the groundwork for the other ones. Either way, these movies are incredible. I never freaking saw the newest Planet of the Apes movie though, because I was worried it would suck, and then when it did come out, I was just like traveling, so I never got a chance. I'm finally gonna see it now though, but before I do, let's get the entire timeline of this franchise explained, because apparently it even connects like the older movies into this one, like it's all one big thing. I don't know, it's hella confusing. Subscribe to Mind Q for being a freaking legend and explaining this. Leave a like and let's get into it. This is exciting. I didn't think they connected at all. I thought they were just rebooting the franchise over and over and over again. They probably still might be, I don't know. That's what this video is for. We're about to learn.
In this video, we will showcase the full timeline of the Planet of the Apes, which will include the early movies, the Tim Burton reimagining, and the current prequel movies that sets up the stage for the upcoming Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that will be released this coming month of May.
There's so much more than I thought there was.
The Planet of the Apes movies, the timeline covers the first two films, which establishes the year 1972 and then a time travel to the year 3978 as the starting points. However, a confusion arises in Beneath the Planet of the Apes, which seems to place the events in the year 3955. Some might argue that this is due to a technical malfunction on Brent's spaceship, leading to a false computer reading. Despite this, the year 3978 remains the authoritative starting point for the OG timeline.
It's confusing.
Okay, 1972. So in this year, astronauts Taylor, Landon, Stewart, and Dodge leave Earth. The crew is supposedly on a mission that involves traveling 700 years into the future. But as we will find out, things didn't go as planned. 3978. The team's ship crash lands on an unknown planet. One of the astronauts, Stewart, dies due to the mishap. The crew survive thanks to going into hibernation while traveling at light speed and only feeling the effects of slight time dilation, aging approximately only 18 months. But they quickly find out that the year that they are in was instead 3978, and the planet they are on is full of intelligent apes which capture them, and this sets up the story for the Planet of the Apes. 3979.
Okay, I get it.
So following the events of the first movie, just a few months after Taylor and Nova's escape from ape captivity.
You know what's crazy is that's what a ripped muscular man looked like in the 70s. Like that's like what a scrawny teenager looks like nowadays, bro. We've evolved like crazy. Look at those bird legs. Ugh, I have skinny legs too, I can't judge. It's so hard to get thick legs.
Another astronaut named Brent crash lands on the same planet. This sets off the events of Beneath the Planet of the Apes, where they battle against a gorilla army and in the end activates a doomsday nuclear device which destroys the entire planet.
I missed that part, what the
Zira,
hell?
Who was now pregnant, her mate Cornelius and Dr. Milo escape in a spaceship and go through a time warp, traveling to the past and landing on Earth at the end of the film.
Those things are creepy as hell looking.
The three final films of the original Planet of the Apes series are Escape from Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and The Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And here they introduce an alternate timeline. This new timeline starts with Cornelius, Zira, and Dr. Milo after escaping in 3979 using a repaired spaceship and traveling back in time to 1973 through a time warp.
Okay.
So 1973, the trio of apes land on Earth and are immediately taken into custody, where it becomes clear that they are highly intelligent and communicative apes. They spend a brief period in a secluded area in the Los Angeles Zoo. Zira and Cornelius befriend human doctors Branton and Lewis, and then later reveal their ability to speak to a presidential commission. Zira and Cornelius confide in Branton and Lewis about their mission to prevent a future war where apes rule the Earth. Under the influence of Truth Serum, Zira inadvertently reveals details about humanity's downfall and how the apes will rise to power.
Dude, I gotta see these old movies.
A space virus arrives on Earth, and every household pet, dog and cat were wiped out, leading to the humans to desire for new pets, which are apes, and them adopting apes as pets.
Never mind, I'm not watching this butt-ass movie. You kidding me? That's in the old movie, a disease wipes out all the dogs and cats, and that's how that we just need new pets? That's, I would just start adopting monkeys if my dog died?
Then them as slaves, which is kind of fucked up, setting up the stage for the conquest of the Planet of the Apes. 1991, so things really went downhill from 1983. Under the oppressive rule of the US government, which relies on ape slave labor,
what the hell?
Caesar starts clandestinely training apes in combat and then arms them. He plans to lead a revolt against the humans, aiming to establish a planet where apes are the dominant species. Caesar and his growing army establishes their dominance, freeing other apes and killing humans who stand in their way.
What?
2001. After a nuclear war and Caesar's uprising, human civilization has collapsed. Caesar, along with his mate Liza and their son Cornelius and their ape followers, have built a new society.
That is the
They
ugliest
strive
ape
to
I've
make
ever
peace
seen.
with the surviving humans and start afresh. However, Caesar faces opposition from Aldo, a gorilla who seeks to enslave humans and force them to work for the apes in Ape City, mirroring the past oppression of apes. Aldo also planned to usurp Caesar, which ended in his death and the establishment of a long peace between the species. 2670. 600 years into the future, an ape named Lawgiver is seen recounting the history of the apes and humans since Caesar's time to a group of ape and human children.
I will never live peacefully alongside something that looks like that. That is a living freaking gizmo. Like that ugly little bastard from Gremlins? No way.
It seems that the species have developed a mutual trust and are now living in peace.
No
with
way,
humans
man.
considered as one of the ape species too, which we really are, scientifically speaking. 2029.
It's actually true. Like, I googled it to make sure. Every human is a monkey because every human is part of the ape family and every ape is part of the monkey family, so therefore, we're all a bunch of monkeys.
Tim Burton's reimagining takes place in this year, starting in the space station Oberon, where astronaut Leo Davidson sends one of his fellow astronauts, a chimpanzee named Pericles, on a solar mission into what looks like an electromagnetic storm to gather information.
What the hell?
Pericles' signal is lost, and then Leo goes in a separate spaceport to find and rescue his chimp companion. 5021. The electromagnetic storm zips the rescue pod to a far distant future where Leo crash lands on a distant planet called Ashlar in the year 5021.
Oh, this is the one
he
I
quickly
saw.
learns that the planet is ruled by an advanced ape species who can talk and ride on horseback, as well as have their own social hierarchy, government, and human slaves.
This one was
in the
awesome.
end, he escapes and gets back to Earth, which had changed and appears to have had a parallel history where apes instead of humans have established a modern society. 2011.
Caesar.
This is the beginning of the prequels, the beginning of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and it begins in San Francisco where a Genesis scientist called Will Rodman searches for a cure for Alzheimer's disease using chimpanzees and other apes as his test subjects. He believes that a drug called ALZ-112 is the answer to curing Alzheimer's after seeing one of the chimps called Bright Eyes displaying increased intelligence. This chimp was pregnant and gave birth to Caesar.
Who else gets hella sad in that scene where they shoot Bright Eyes? They just murder Caesar's mom because she was all sad that they were. It was just depressing, bro.
Who displayed heightened levels of human-like intellect. 2016. 5 years later, Genesis develops a new form of Will's Alzheimer's drug called ALZ-113, which eventually became the simian flu. The scientist accidentally exposes himself to the drug while testing it on a bonobo called Koba, and later it is revealed that the infected Genesis scientist later boards a plane to Paris, which leads to the spread of the simian flu pandemic worldwide.
Yeah, that goofy bastard was. I was in an argument in my Discord the other day regarding this. It was the scientist. It was completely the scientist's fault who broke protocol. I can't speak. Like his mask came off and then he goes home and he's sneezing blood all over neighbors and stuff. He caused all of it.
That targets only humans. In the latter part of the movie, Caesar leads the other apes to the Golden Gate Bridge, where they make their escape into the Redwood Forest, establishing it as their new home. 2026, 10 years later. By this time, the simian flu had drastically reduced the human population worldwide, leaving only approximately 1 in 500 humans immune to the virus. Caesar and the apes he freed have established a society in the Muir Woods near San Francisco. There they lived in peace until a group of human survivors established a community in the San Francisco city and ended in an all-out war between the two groups, with Caesar leaving the Muir Woods to avoid attack by other human survivors. 2028. This brings us to the War for the Planet of the Apes, where Caesar and his ape community engage in a long, prolonged conflict with a US military group called Alpha Omega, commanded by a leader known as the Colonel. The apes, Alpha Omega, and while the US Army fight fiercely in the end. Ultimately, Caesar and his followers manage to escape and reach an oasis in the desert, which they adopt as their new home. 2300s. This is where the kingdom of the Planet of the Apes take place. Apes here have developed a Bronze Age society with the help of the lost human archaeotech. This change provides a new viewpoint and, coupled with a time jump, sets the stage for a modern reimagining of the original Planet of the Apes narrative, further expanding the franchise's timeline and coming back to square one. So if you like this video, then watch this other one as well. And do check out
I freaking love this channel. He explains so much. Basically, the reason I didn't see the new movie, because I love the franchise so much, it's weird for me to not see it. But the thing is, the trilogy, the story of Caesar was just so amazingly fantastic that I thought the fourth movie without Caesar was just going to be a cash grab or something. Like, it's just, I thought it was going to suck. I love the franchise way too much to see a bad ape movie, but then all my subscribers said the movie's awesome. So now I don't know what I'm doing. Now I think I'm just waiting for it to drop on streaming or something, because I feel like it's so close, you know? Either way, this was interesting as hell. I had no idea those super old movies went so freaking hard. But look how ugly that dude is on the third cover. How do you expect me to watch that? You know what I'm saying? But I guess I could just know. Maybe he dies? Yeah, maybe he dies. That's what I'll watch it for. But either way, the Planet of the Apes franchise is freaking awesome, and I gotta go watch these older movies for sure. I had no idea they were so in depth. They have like slavery between humans and apes. Like, what the crap, dude? I gotta go watch these. Either way, leave a like, subscribe for more random crap, subscribe to Mind Q because he's awesome, and I'll see you next time.